Habakkuk, rather Azerbaijan, Baku. You understand? Big Apple, Empire State, Twin Tower, World Trade Center, Commonwealth, DC, Apples, Incarnation. So that's upon Allah Razul. iPhone, Right Square, City Hall, Bay Street, Governor, South Carolina. Erect genital called Cleopatra needle. See, Big Apple. So that's upon Allah Razul. See, Big Apple, weather shift, paradigm shift, shape shift, slave shift, intimate domain property, whether it was slave, who was discriminated for endowed. Enable. Enslave. You understand? The feeding process of an apple, you understand? Property how sleazy he was, knowledge of Khalifa's military leader kings. The sleazy for property right, property owners, enslave, enable. Feeding process, Big Apple. You understand? The apple, their story. You understand? Intimate domain, property rights, property owner, enslave, enable. Knowledge of military leaders, Khalifa Kasaku, governors, Michaels, kings, a feeding process of a Big Apple, that apple, New York, Empire State, Commonwealth, vitamins, DC, Washington, DC. See, it's beyond this Terry. The feeding process, a replica, a duplicate, shift. Of an apple. You understand? A replica, a duplicate, imitate of original. You understand? For survival of the fittest. When you understand the feeding process, sacrifice, survival of the fittest, of this Kundalini cookie monster. CIA, Apple, CFR, the feeding process of the polytheism God, the feeding process of the genital, those big apple genitals, twin towers, two dicks, twin Kundalini. Watch them, towers fall. You understand? When you understand the apple, the feeding process of a replica of the polytheism God, you understand? Of the polytheism God, survival of the fittest. You understand? Was it an apple? CIA, CFR, old deal, central bank, hand caught, cookie jar, central bank, CIA close. That's here, this theory. You understand? This is knowledge of military leaders, caliphs, military leaders. You understand? It's a replica. See, Baku was somewhere else. You understand? This was Revelation, Kitab. You understand? Did they get that right, that big apple? You understand? That's knowledge of Solomon. Michael, Yusuf Ali, and kings, especially in Europe, and wherever they put an apple at. You understand? Incarnation. Habakkuk, Revelations, Incarnation. Let me let you know something. Let me let you know something right now. The feeding process of an apple. You understand where it shifts? Where it shifts, whether it's shape shift or remind them atonement of what? The Cleopatra needle or two genitals. Or one across the street from City Hall, Savannah, Georgia, Cleopatra needle, erect genital, life erection. Now, the feeding process of them that create or cause a terry, a earth, a world. You understand? It's survival of the fittest, they feeding process. You understand? You have the feed process, ritual, genital, well, blood, billion, B-U-L-I-O-N, same thing, sodium, iodine. You understand? And this is what they worship. the ones who set it up, the ones who caused the shift that you call shape shift or slavery, enable. Enslave. You understand? You understand? For one. Now, if you shapeshift, enable, enslave, it's something you rely on. You understand? If you rely on something, that's the feed process that you rely on for one, sustain. You understand? Survival of the fittest is a replica, a duplicate, an implicate of something that's they create. Cause like a polytheism God, and they feed. This is the note of the app. It's a gentle, so you can feed that way. You understand? It's replica, it's artificial. You understand? It's not authentic. It's not the cause. You understand? It's not 100 proof. You understand? It's not indigenous, it's not aboriginal, Tabby. You understand? Hussein, Michael. You understand? It's not Native American. Hey, right? Now, this is knowledge of the ones that had knowledge of something that exists beyond this terry, this earth. Habakkuk, Azerbaijan, Baku, Chief Thomas, Chief Wife, Camilla. You understand? Ibrahim, you understand? This is knowledge, especially of Caucasians, Antarctic, Caucasoid kings. That's Europe, Mongoloid, Negroid. Military leaders, caliphs, cat. You understand? The knowledge of that apple that they on their laptop. Press of a laptop for soy. Military leader Michael, Star Michael, Ali Saddam Hussein, Majudullah. A press. This thing, Habakkuk, for you, man, you know, did you get that right? The apple, cookie. You know, for you, the man you will read. Otherwise, a Chief's Talmud, Chief's Time Star Travel Holy Tablet. Garani G. Family tree, not an apple tree. Not a Christmas tree. You understand? Melungian. Now, for you, the manual read, did you get that right? You were the forerunner. They were hating. They were hating on you and entirely you was somewhere else. You were discriminated. Genital revolutionary, genital revolutionary. You understand? They called you the evil Baku. You understand? And they set it up. And for you to know that Chief Thomas G. Dunn from slavery, evaluate, looking like that General James Oglethorpe was a slave catcher, says, hey, go find out in New York, the Big Apple. You, Malcolm X, and all the rest of them, Cassius Muhammad Ali, and all the rest. You understand? For you to manual read something they press science, medicine, technology. You understand? Incarnation. Lexus Benz BMW. You understand? At the press just like this, their laptop, the one shift you hear. Then, for one military leader, Michael Starr, Michael Ali said, "On the same note to Cretus, authorship, ass, heart, right, feet, and figate, G-A-T-E. La Majudala, computer. Map of South and North America, because they just say, getting it right. Shout out Princess Simone 314 Woman. Seats reserve seats, Incarnation. You understand? The feeding process, it's a replica. It's a replica. It's a replica. Polytheism, polytheism. You understand? New York feeding process. Dapple, obsessed with genital, the way you feed, man. Well, Commonwealth, Philadelphia's, DC's in Apple, Washington, DC. Been out headquarters. Bring that down trade and the terrorists. You know what I'm saying? So why you, Chief Thomas Chief, the price for stuff, don't that at the price screen? Habakkuk. That's the KGB, Prescott Bush, Hitler, Vladimir Putin. Remember me when you're fine. Remember me when you're Putin. Bush, your Ivy League, Beach, Moses Beach, Moses Yale Beach, HBCUs. Yale, Harvard, Princeton, Moses Yale Beach, Alfred Eli Beach, HBCUs, Black Church, Classical Field, niggers, house niggers. From your 41 to 43rd, 40th. You understand? And Carter, the low plains, and Subhanallah Razu. You understand? You understand? For one, like I said, this of the ones had obtained knowledge of thus Apple on this terry earth world. You understand? Cookie jar. Cookie monster. You understand? It's Apple. You understand? From that shift, enable, enslave, You understand? Where you rely intimate domain. Billion, B-U-L-I-O-N. You understand? A shift. Knowledge of this feeding process. Shift where Habakkuk, Azerbaijan, Baku, the Apple, Empire State, Commonwealth, Vitamins DC, Washington. You understand? Knowledge of this big apple feeding process. They create crisis. You understand? Immense social power surrounded around Michael, Chief Thomas Chichi, grandson. Genital, Habakkuk, Azerbaijan, Baku. Michael Starr, Hussein Hassan, Michael Starr, military leader, Michael Austin Lee, Saddam Hussein, Turkey, South Shabazz, Hogright, Fidian, Frigate, Gate, Genital Dick. Shout out Simone, 314 woman, seats reserve seats. This goes out for one, those ones who create knowledge of this dapple vitamin B6, the polities. They discriminate on endowed genital. Cleopatra Needle across street from Johnson Square, knowledge of slaves. What were slaves and what were shifts of South Carolina? Big Apple, Toontown. World Trade Center, Terry's, World Trade Savannah. Reed, Oglethorpe. Solomon Lounge. Jerusalem, Iraq, Egypt, Maghreb, Guyana's region. Egypt right there. It's Guyana's region. Maghreb region. Maghreb, Morocco. This goes for one, the KGB, Vladimir Putin, remember me when you're Putin, remember me when you're farting. Prescott, Hitler, 41, 43rd, 40th, Low Plains, Carter, Princeton, Yale, Ivy League, Harvard. For one, you're naval. You understand? That obtain knowledge. The apple in the crisis. These Caucasoid Ku Klux Klan. Create polytheism gods, a replica, duplicate. You understand? Feeding process. You understand? Negroid, Mongoloid. You understand? Feeding process. You understand? This is the ones that obtain knowledge from beyond this terry. Thus world, thus earth. Baku, Azerbaijan, Baku, they just what get it right. Michael Starr, military leader Michael Ali Saddam Hussein, Turkidi, Sergeant Shabazz, Hogbright, FDN, Frigate GATE, Majudala. Shout out Simone 314 woman. Shout out Princess Simone 314 woman. 6 reserve seats. Majudala. Computer. Map of South, North America. Because they just weren't getting gender. Immense social power surrounded around Michael. Military. Michael Starr. Military leader, Sergeant Shabazz Hogbright. You understand? You understand? You understand? You understand? Because they just weren't getting it right. You understand? Immense social power accumulated around Michael Starr, military leader Michael Ali Saddam Hussein Turkidi, Sergeant Shabazz Hogbright, FDN, Frigate GATE. Genital. Dick. You understand? Sure, that's upon Allah Razu. Abomination, nigga. Incarnation of Baku. Shout out to Granny G. Chief Thomas Chichi's Time Star Travel, Holy Tablets. Incarnation. The Guyana region, Maghreb region. Iraq President Saddam Hussein. Uday Qusay Sakiks. Abanada Bagzida. Hafida Abney. Begum Bagzida. Dabanada. Granny G. 4-1. Sure, that's upon Allah Razu. 4-1. Shout out for one, the Incredible Hawk, the Indestructible, Coretta Scott King. You know what I'm saying? For the infiltration you try to have on y'all in the rolling 60s. Spaz Hawk, Indestructibles, Incredible Hawks, Hawk Dynasty, Hawk Abraham, Hawk Family, Indestructibles, Granny G, Chief Thomas Chichi, Chief Wife Camilla, Shabazz, Coretta Scott, God